Well, good afternoon and welcome to the Stade de la Beaujoire in Nantes. Well, I don't know if you've been watching the game down in Bordeaux. Driving rain for much of that game. Well, we're only about 350 kilometres away here in Nantes, but brilliant blue skies. It's Wales against Fiji, and it's the final game in Pool B, and it is, or will be, decisive. It's sudden death stuff. Both sides locked together. They've won 2 out of 3 each. Here you can see the fixtures as they've passed so far. Wales starting their campaign on this ground with victory against Canada. But now Fiji beaten 55-12 there by Australia. But it's all down to this encounter, and there's plenty of support for the island nation. That is the group position. A big day for each and every one of these men, but this man in particular, Gareth Thomas, played his club rugby until very recently, not that far away in Toulouse. Left there under a bit of a cloud, and has now returned to Wales, where he'll play club rugby for Cardiff. But this his 100th Test match. Gareth Thomas. Had to be some doubt he'd ever get there to 100. A couple of weeks ago, had the stuffing knocked out of him by Sterling Mortlock in the big game in Cardiff. Suffered rib cartilage damage. And then even yesterday, when he was laid low with a cold, real fears that Thomas wouldn't be fit to play in this game.
I don't think there was any way he was going to miss this one, was he? There was no way that he was going to be left behind with a touch of flu in a hotel bed, that's for sure. Huge emotional day for Gareth Thomas and all of the Welsh squad. He really has been their talisman.
Ladies and gentlemen, would you please be upstanding for the national anthems of Fiji and Wales, recorded by the Republican Guard and the French Army Choir.
So the Fijians have won 2 matches already at this World Cup, more than they've ever won before. Can they make it 3? his 100th Test match. Now here's a statistic I don't think they'll like to hear repeated in the Valleys. Wales have lost their final pool match at the last 4 World Cups. So Gareth Thomas has got out of his sick bed to make his 100th Test appearance for Wales. Quite how fit he is, we'll learn in the next hour or so, but he was laid up with a cold yesterday. That after being declared fit from the rib cartilage injury he picked up against Australia a fortnight ago. Here are the Fijians, and if they are to upset Wales today, the key is to be found in securing enough possession.
Martin, if I could just say something, Gareth Thomas's 100th cap is overshadowing Colin Jarvis's 93rd cap, which makes him become the most capped Welsh forward.
So there is the Fijian lineup. Bain, Rabini, experience at the highest level in European club rugby, while both De La Salle and Rataval are prolific finishers. So the final game in Pool B, it's sudden death. Wales against Fiji. Stuart Dickinson, Australia's most experienced World Cup referee. Wales will be playing from left to right. So Wales, who haven't won their final group game at a World Cup for 5 World Cups, if they don't win this one today, they'll be going home, and I suspect Gareth Jenkins will be looking for another job on Monday. Stephen Jones gets things underway. Nantes bathed in sunshine. Rauluni hoists it high. Alex Popham waits under that, along with Mark Jones. They fumble it between them. Suggestion there, perhaps, of a knock forward off a Fiji hand. There's Rauluni.
Off the head, that'll be play on. The referee's calling a knock on.
Dwayne Peel burrowing for it. 10 metres inside the Wales half. There's Jones. Ducks inside, 2 tackles. Good run this from Stephen Jones. He's got support from Tom Shankly. An early opportunity here for Wales. Crying outside is Mark Jones. Jones, the Llanelli flyer, going for the line. They're looking for quick ball. There's Jarvis. Out to Martin Williams. There's Thomas, the Centurion. Not too many options. Shane Williams, has he got there? Well, the referee may want to look at that, but it didn't look like it to me.
No, he's in touch there. What a great piece of play there. The Fijians started perfectly. It was a great clearance kick there from Rabini, then the chase. Then it was a counter-attack by the Welsh. Stephen Jones cutting them through the middle. Then on the outside, you see quite clearly there, though, Williams bundled into touch. Great start to this game. Great tempo, both sides. They want to play a high-tempo game. This is important to them.
Good start for Wales. Less than 2 minutes gone. Not too many empty seats here in Nantes. Sania Koto earning his 17th Test cap. Well caught in the line by Naevo. Fiji perhaps vulnerable at 1 or 2 of the set pieces, and there are some blows being exchanged. That's Chris Horsman getting involved. One man under his left arm punching another with his right.
Multi-talented, these props, aren't they? Yeah. Well, no, it comes here from the clean out here. Coming in there to clean out at the ruck was Alan Wynne-Jones there. You can see very aggressive with his counter rucking there, and that's upset a few of the Fijians. But as we see, Stephen Jones here seems to be well surrounded, nothing on. He breaks 3 tackles. There's a 5th lunging effort, and still he was going. He sent Shanklin away, who maybe should have put the ball in the hands of him, as we're away again.
Matthew Rees misses his man. Tidied up though. There's Rees again, 12 metres inside the Fiji half. Referee playing advantage to the Welsh. And there's Jones again to Peel. They're going to come back for a penalty. Well, it's a quick tap from Martin Williams. Good step from James Hook. Did that go forward off a Welsh hand? The referee decides. The Fijians coming over there.
Just losing his footing there, Koto. He had very good position on the ball. Great play, Martin Williams. One of, you know, year in, year out, one of the best performers in the Welsh jersey. Just see here, Soto here, losing his feet, coming over the top. And referee Dickinson right on the spot there. But good play, Martin Williams, trying to put the speed on the game. That suits the Welsh. If they can keep that speed on the game, they've got such dynamic finishes out wide, particularly in Shane Williams, who's a very, very exciting footballer.
So Stephen Jones does start off the kicking duties. 562 test points. Becomes 565. A little more than 4 minutes gone. Wales have the early lead, and they certainly have had the balance of the possession and the territory.
So while Wales will be looking, trying to maintain their tempo on this game, at the same time, they've got to maintain their structure against the Fijians. Anyway, with kicking, we know how dangerous their runners can be.
Alan Wynne-Jones plucks that out of the sky. Peel, back to Shanklin, off the outside of the left boot. There is Tom Shanklin. His father played for Wales. That's going back to the early 70s. There's Gareth Jenkins. Looking a bit twitchy is Gareth Jenkins. He's a man under pressure.
Fijian line-out looked comfortable earlier on from their own 5-metre on their own throw. It's the first real good attacking position for them. Once again.
It's worked all right. Rauluni's a little. And crashing through there is the Leicester man, Soto Rabini. Well, it's been snapped up well, and that was Ian Evans. Popham going to ground. Peel. Good cross kick. And I'm afraid, well, I think the foot was eventually in touch there from Nevua. Rather surprised in that bounce. Beautiful kick there. I think it was Shanklin who put that one through here. And you just see here, it's just a little bit casual, isn't it? It's a little bit casual in his play. The flag goes up. But again, this is a turnover. Stephen Jones and Hook in on the tackle. But you can be sure he's going to come running at them all day, as Rapini. He's really going to try and target that area between Hook and Jones. Both very good defenders in their own right, and they'll have to be today because they are going to be tested by these big Fijian runners. Evans having the ball knocked out of his hand. Referee blows his whistle. Knocked forward though by a Fijian hand, so another good attacking platform here for Wales.
We just see here the Fijian hand just knocking it out of his hands here. Sirawaka. Big scrum here for Fiji. They're already under a little bit of pressure, aren't they? They've got to try and survive this opening 15-minute blitz from the Welsh.
The Fijians have a 20-kilogram advantage, so a little more than 2 kilograms a man. Once again they collapse, and it's the Fijians who are penalised. Graham Jews on the near side. There he is. Plays his club rugby in Auckland. Well, what will they do here?
Well, the sensible option's got to take the 3 points. They've got to just keep ticking away, dominating territory and take the points when they're available. You know, with Stephen Jones, who looked excellent in his pre-game kicking, that they just want to take advantage of having such a talent there at number 10 goal kicking, and what backup they've got in hook as well. So they're very well covered in that department. They've got to take the points when they're on offer. Just slowly grind the Fijians out of it. That'll be their thinking. You can be sure of it.
Stephen Jones, who played a couple of seasons in France for Clermont-Auvergne, now back playing club rugby in Llanelli. That one coming back off the upright. Bit of an opportunity here, though, for Shanklin, but I think Shanklin nudged it forward.
Well, costly miss there. Not the most difficult of opportunities for Stephen Jones. Shanklin was all alone on the chase up there. The Welsh got to be a little bit more urgent there, put pressure on the ball.
Crouch, touch, pause, engage.
It is quite nice to have 2 specialist kickers, but you have to say it puts pressure on the first man, doesn't it? He knows every kick missed is 1 kick nearer to losing the job on the afternoon, and Stephen Jones would have liked, I think, to have got that one.
Without a doubt, it is a confidence thing, isn't it? Worrying signs here for Fiji, though, isn't it? Penalised at the last scrum. This scrum's come straight up in the air.
Foot up. Thank you. I'll get him there.
The Welsh tight 5, they're really going to relish this challenge. They want to take the Fijians apart up front, and they've started very well.
Touch, pause, engage.
So Raul Looney, the captain, with the pudding. Picked up the back by Koyambuli. He tried to. All very scrappy, this for the Fijians. Well, they do have it. Herbini playing scrum half. There's Raul again. Back to Little, and inside his in-goal area. Doesn't look for touch. There's the Llanelli flyer, Mark Jones. He's taken down. 13 or 14 metres inside the Fiji half. Peel to Jones. Missed in the middle. That's Shanklin. Well, Rabini coming in with a tackle. He dwelt far too long on the ball there, did Shanklin. But Fiji again coming off their feet. Quick tap from Peel. To Popham, was it forward? The referee says not. Inside the 22, Peel again. There's Jones, the opportunity out wide. Alan Wynne-Jones is over there. But good defensive work from Philemoni De La Salle.
Great thinking, Dwayne Peel. The quick play with the quick tap he was on, and they were gone. What Stephen Jones's option there? I've really got to question that one. He had at least 8 players outside him, 7 or 8 players, and he went to the chip kick in behind. Possession given up very easily there by the Welsh. They've got to try and hold on to it. They've got to turn this territory into points here early. They are looking good, but they need points on the board.
Nicky Little with the restart. Hoisted high by Hook. Good catch from Raul Looney. Gethin Jenkins coming in with the tackle. 10 metres inside the Fiji half. Little under pressure, hoists it high. The Centurion, Gareth Thomas, comes underneath it, but the ball's bobbled forward, and I think on this occasion off a Fijian hand. Although he's going to come back for a penalty, is the referee. Wales offside.
The Welsh backline getting up very quickly there. You'll see it, they're already set in an offside position. Very good call by referee Dickinson. The kick was a good one from Little. The chase was effective. Unfortunately, the slight knock on there. But it seems to me that the Fijians will want to try and create a little bit of disorder in that Welsh back 3. Beautiful kick, Nicky Little. It's an ideal attacking position for them.
Sorry, Simon, a few boos and jeers coming from the crowd there. They were urging the referee to play advantage, but I don't think they appreciated that the ball had gone forward off a Fijian hand, so we had to come back for the penalty.
But I think anything going against Wales this afternoon by the referee is going to be jeered, isn't it? A lot of Welsh people in the stadium today.
So Koto, former prop forward, with a throw into the line. Well taken by Kera, the Gloucester man. Oh, but it's spilled forward off a Fijian hand this time. That's almost an unforced error, and you could see the way Rauluni just tossed that ball out to Nicky Little. He knew frustration, and that was something of an unforced error.
Exactly, it's unforced errors that they just cannot afford. Their line-out work's been solid so far. They've just got to take their time with the ball. They seem to be just a little bit excited at the moment, trying to do things too quickly. Slow it down, get the structures in place.
13 minutes gone in Non. One of 4 sudden death games this weekend. It's effectively the round of 16 knockout. That's all it amounts to. Stephen Jones.
The referee calling that one took a deflection off the Fijian hand. So it'll be a line out to Wales. Already he's missed his, Reece has missed his first line, didn't he, with the overthrow. So it's been a real question mark, hasn't it, this Welsh line? It hasn't really functioned terribly well, and here we go again. That's untidy work from the Welsh forward pack. But knock on though, so they'll get out of jail in this situation. But their line out, it's a bit of an Achilles heel for them at the moment, I feel.
There is some encouragement there for the Fijians. You would expect Wales to earn rather more than their share of the set-piece ball, but as you say, the Ospreys partnership in the second row, Alan Wynne-Jones and Ian Evans playing having his first start for almost 10 months. Certainly in the line-out at the moment, things not quite going as well as they might.
No, while the line-out not really performing as they would have liked, as you say, the scrum is performing well. They've got Fiji under a lot of pressure here. Fiji just want to maintain their discipline at scrum time. Just try not to give away penalties in this area of the field. It costs them field position every time.
Well, Rabini missing his man on that occasion. But Fiji competing well. And they've turned it over. Rauluni. There's Rabini. Back to Rabini again. This time to Nevua. Nevua going through. He needs some support. Colin Jarvis in there with a tackle. Quick ball for the Fijians. 5 or 6 metres out. In support there is Bai. There's Rauluni again. Danger this for Wales. Rabini. The tackle coming in from Alex Popham, right underneath the Welsh post. Taken on by Koyan Boyle. Rauluni, quick ball. Surely Fiji must score. Akafusi Kera.
Well played, Fiji. They went through the phases very well there. They maintained the ball. The clean-outs were excellent. The presentation for Rauluni was excellent. This is the finish to the try. Good work there from Kia. Very well taken try. Rauluni, he was the instigator of the whole thing. He was clearing the ball quickly, using his big runners, and he's got such choice, hasn't he? He really has. That's an excellent start for Fiji. Try within 16 minutes of play. If there are any questions of doubt, if there is a little seed of doubt in the Welsh minds, I think it's just got a little bit bigger.
Little makes 5.7. The first real blow of the game.
It's going back to the build-up play here. Rabini, he's going to run at them all day. There was a definite crossing there that the referee could have called up. He let it go. The Fijians capitalised, but look how quickly they recycle this ball. Man goes to ground. Straight away he's passing out of the tackle. Once again, it's good ball. And a big step off the right foot. And he's in under the post. 7 points. Now they've got to take the restart here and get it straight back down to Welsh territory.
Well, cries of Fiji with a hint of a French accent to them.
Good pressure by the Welsh though, pushed up hard. The kickoff was a touch too long, and Nicky Little, he was forced onto his left foot there. Ideal play by the Welsh, good response straight away. That's what they had to do.
Remember the prize for the winners of this game? Quarter-final tie in 8 days' time in Marseille against the Springboks. And you have to say this side, or this half of the competition, significantly weaker than the other. There's an opportunity on this side of the group for a side, really, to go all the way through to the final. We're in danger of having Australia, New Zealand, France, all in the other half.
Well, Fiji have really lifted their intensity since the start of the game, haven't they? They were a little bit rocked at the start there, but now you can see them growing in confidence, putting pressure on the Welsh. Again, the Welsh line-out not really functioning as they would like. It's cost them this position here.
Well, these two teams have met on 8 previous occasions. Wales have won all 8, but the last one was very tight indeed. 11-10 it was a couple of years ago in Cardiff. And here's another chance. Fiji really on the rampage. De La Salle there. Looked like a knock-on, but he's got another crack at it. De La Salle, it's a foot race. Does he get the bounce? He does!
Incredible! Absolutely incredible try! Well, he's referred it to the television match official, but on first viewing, that looked fine to me.
Well, it's just a question, did he ground the ball before the dead ball line? And certainly my feeling was he was comfortably inside. But Wales, that really is a hammer blow. Well, we can judge for ourselves. Plucks it out of the air like Michael Jordan and puts it down, and there was no problem with that.
The bounce of the rugby ball, can do strange things. But with such athletic ability, De La Salle plucked it out of the air. Just too powerful. Look at the leap there in the hands. Superb athletic skills there from De La Salle. And we'll wait for the confirmation. But that will silence the Welsh part of this crowd. Absolutely incredible start by Fiji. They couldn't have asked for any more. But it was good to see them attacking from in their own 22. That's the important thing. We have a look here. Nicky Little chooses the option out wide. They get a lucky bounce, that's sure, but they chance their arm. Rabini lost it out the back. Then De La Salle off the foot. No knock on there. Kick ahead. And just watch the bounce of the ball. It sits up. Superior athletic ability, and he's able to pull it out of the air and score the try. Quite outstanding first 20 minutes here for Fiji. Just have a look here, out the back. Everything going their way at the moment. No knock on there. Very good refereeing by Dickinson. The Welsh players had a look around. He waved play on, and here we have the bounce. And look at the leap. Under the attention of 2 players. Incredible start.
Well, Little misses the conversion attempt, but Fiji, 2 tries to nothing. They've got a 9-point lead. Wales know they're in a game. Little doesn't find touch. Alex Popham, former Leeds man, playing at Llanelli.
He's under pressure here from Rabini.
Once again running into a wall of white jerseys, and the options the Welsh are taking at the moment, you have to say, time and time again appear to be the wrong ones.
Well, they are at the moment. There's 2 times they've let the ball bounce down there from a return from the kickoff. And so it wasn't Rabini, it was the try scorer, De La Salle. Look at the strong position. So important. Over the ball, wins the penalty. And it's a kicking opportunity for Nicky Little. Wales have got to calm down and try and get their hands back on the ball. That's the important thing from their viewpoint now. Because at the moment, if you give the Fijians the confidence and you just open that door a little, they're going to come charging through. And at the moment, it's all one-way traffic, isn't it?
It's remarkable. The first 5 minutes, Gareth Jenkins would have been watching on and would have been very, very happy indeed. But this game's been turned on its head. Little, he's caught it well. 3 more points. The margin, 12 points. We've gone through the first quarter of the game.
Well, Wales had their first opening pool match here, didn't they, in Nantes against Canada, and they were trailing in that game after 55 minutes. but they sent on all their big guns to turn it round for them. Today, the big guns are on the field and they're trailing. This is not the start. This is the worst possible start that Wales could have imagined.
Well, we just got a bit of a hold-up while somebody has jumped over the barriers.
Yeah, Martin, there's a small dilemma with this stadium, is that the supporters have got direct access to the pitch if they want. You know, there's no security rail or anything, so that's why he got through. But he's been wrestled away now.
They certainly weren't taking any chances, were they? Now another one out the back of the hand, doesn't find its man. There's De La Salle again, doing the recovery work for Fiji. Rauluni back to Little. Again, not looking for touch. Popham gets rid of it first time on this occasion. And that kick, I'm afraid, right off the outside of the boot.
They're rattled, aren't they? They really are. Popham looking directly into the sun over on that side of the field there. But that's the third ball we've seen that's hit the ground. Nicky Little, sensible kick in there. And Rauluni, the two of them controlling things nicely. Good chase up through the middle of the field. Shanklin slices it out. This is a very good line-out position for Fiji.
So Koto with the throw into the line, and they've won it. There's Rauluni to Little. Good drive, this from Fiji. Taken on that time by Kera, the first try scorer. There's Little, missing out Rabini in the centre. There's Rabini again, ducks inside. Colin Jarvis makes the tackle along with Dwayne Peel, but it's a penalty, and it's a time to hold it here for Fiji. You can see there Masisi Rauluni just grabbing that ball and saying, look, there are 3 points for the taking here.
Well, definitely, the Welsh have been forced into mistakes. There's a total lack of discipline at the moment.
Seal the ball off.
That was Chris Horseman coming in from an offside position and just plunging straight into the Moore situation. And the Wales, they're running a thin line here with referee Dickinson. You'll see Rapini here coming through. Have a look where Horseman's come from. Straight over the top and clear grounds for a yellow card there. But his second offence that we've had in 22 minutes, I think he's right giving the warning. They have got to be very, very careful, because if they go down to 14 men, watch again the Fijians lift another level. This is a big kick for Nicky Little, very important. Every time they get down here, they've got to take the points. And every point they take just adds that little bit more doubt into the Welsh minds.
Who would have thought it? Particularly if you'd watched about the first 5 minutes of this game. Wales apparently taking an early grip. Stephen Jones popping over the penalty. He then had the opportunity to slot another, which he struck against one of the uprights. But since then, we've seen a complete transformation.
Great chase there from Popham, and Shanklin really putting pressure on, but Fiji regathering the ball, setting it back to Nicky Little. Oh, it's through the middle.
There's a real chance. Well, he's looking for support. He's got 3 or 4 men alongside him as Kera. There's Bai. Kera again. Tries to find De La Salle, and there is De La Salle. Well, another try. You do have to wonder, what would that do to this game? Little. There's Rabini. Popham making the tackle. All the pressure coming from Fiji here, though. We talk about great shocks in global tournaments. If this went the way of Fiji, it would certainly be right up in the pantheon of them. There's Bai, they got men over. Jeremiah Bai, can he go all the way? He's held up a metre out. They got men out wide, there are gaps there if they can get it. But they're going to go themselves. Keller Lauer in his 18th test match. 3 tries now to Fiji. Well, what can you say about this? At the moment, and I say it with some caution, it's in danger of becoming a rout.
Absolutely staggering rugby by Fiji. Absolutely, it is brilliant stuff. We see the split up the middle by Kia. He's gone. They should have capitalised. They should have scored from here. They had a 3-on-1. Thomas shadowing across. Then they slowed the play down. Delisau wanted the ball earlier. Then it goes to ground. It was Rapini who was strong in the middle of the field. They came back to this attacking situation and the good body position. He drives over close to the line. Leo Weir, brilliant play, Fiji. This is staggering, absolutely staggering. 25 minutes gone. Fiji with a chance to take it to 25 points to 3. And he's only gone and nailed it.
The gap, 22 points.
Well, here we have it again. This is look at that, a 4-on-2 situation. They're creating mismatches all over the field at the moment. Wales are absolutely shocked. Good finish. There were 3 or 4 men outside who could have scored the try. Wales are totally at 6s and 7s at the moment. Captain Thomas has got to try and pull it together here. And Jenkins, something has got to happen out here. But they've got their hands on the ball now.
There's Martin Williams running into Rapini inside the Fiji 22. They need something quick. There's James Hook. Hook goes again. Popham's in there, as is Rees. It's a penalty. Well, what decision do they make here?
It's got to be 3 points. Very easy decision. There's still a long time to go in this rugby game. That's the first time they've had their hands on the ball for, it seems like 10 minutes, doesn't it? They just have not had their hands on the ball. They've got to take the points. And they're opted for the scrum. Dear, oh dear. I can't understand this.
I posed that question, half thinking I knew the answer to it myself, and I would have agreed with you entirely, but this illustrates there is already panic.
There is no need to panic. They have got 53 minutes left of rugby. They're more than capable of scoring these points.
Picked up by Popham to Peel. There's Hook. Thomas comes in. That's
look at the defence.
Well, Shane Williams, we haven't seen much of him. He popped there. There's Peel to Jones. Getting Jenkins. Jones again to Peel. There's Hook. And he runs into Rabini. And that must be like running into a brick wall. Good step from Shane Williams. The tackle coming in though from Nevua. There's Peel. Thomas got men over here at Wales. Mark Jones was in. Good hands. That's Matthew Rees, 7 or 8 metres out. Wales will think they've got to make this pay. There's Mark Jones. Peel. Hook. Well, the tackle there, a hint. It came in a little bit high there from Nicky Little. Jarvis behind Alex Popham.
Certainly a high shot from Nicky Little there.
Time out.
The referee Dickinson will want to talk to them here.
But Shane Williams there, well, it's panic all the time, isn't it, from the Welsh? The referee here has called time. He isn't going to allow that. He's going to bring this back.
But it was that way? Well, that was true. Okay.
Well, I think it'll just be talking to here.
Well, I think he's doing the Welsh a bit of a favour here because he's calling time on play. There's an opportunity here for Gareth Thomas and old heads like Colin Jarvis, while Nicky Little here is getting a warning to say a few things and say, look, calm down, lads.
Exactly, here it is here. And that is, that's a big shot there. The swinging arm going into the tackle, it's high, it's, well, they're taking the line-out option this time and their line-out's shaky. They take a scrum from the centre of the field. They don't score from it straight away. Now they go to a line-out that's not really functioning well. You've got to say the decision-making at the moment by the Welsh team is very, very poor. They have got to make this play count.
It's certainly inconsistent, isn't it? Because we've had 2 very opposite plays there. Once opting for the scrum, the next time popping it into the corner. Well, this is a good drive from Wales, 2 or 3 metres out. Colin Jarvis. Can the Fiji defence hold them up? This is a crucial 10 minutes. Peel. Well, it's spilled forward this time by Jones, picked up by Gareth Thomas.
Well, it's very easy for us to call the game from sitting up here in our position high above the ground, but the decisions, Robbie, I'm sure you agree with us, they seem ludicrous. The guys, they seem really rattled down there at the moment.
No, Simon, honestly, you know, when you see this Welsh team who are on their back feet, they build up confidence, they get 3 points, they should have got 6, and then they think that they can just, you know, run their opposition over the field. And I think that they were just over enthusiastic at that point, and now decision-making is just, it's been quite ridiculous, as you said. I mean, you know, should go for the points and try and sort of, you know, hack away at that lead that they've got. Absolutely right, Simon.
Well, that's a big shove from the Welsh pack. I don't know about you, Simon, but here we are with Gareth Thomas, the Centurion, his 100th cap today, captain of the Welsh team, making his 14th appearance at a World Cup. Despite that, they're playing like a side at the moment who are leaderless.
It certainly appears that way, doesn't it? There's not much chat coming here from the... We're hearing it through the referee. There's not a lot of chat coming from the Welsh side of it. However, the scrum functioning well. They've got to come away with points quickly here.
Picked up by Popham, hit by Nicky Little. At the moment, the defence of the Fijians holding.
They're everywhere, aren't they? Nicky Little is tackling anything that moves, albeit maybe a little illegally. He is everywhere with the tackling at the moment.
He's tackling like a back row forward, isn't he? Well, that's Matthew Rees. Can Rees go all the way? They're a metre out. There's Chris Horsman. Horsman getting sent backwards. Popham, did he knock it forward? The referee says not, but I think the referee's going to come back for a penalty to Wales. And Jarvis has taken a quick tap this time. This is a very flustered Welsh team.
I'm sure Jenkins will be asking for a kick at goal here, surely. Now, they've been here for 5 minutes and haven't come away with any points from that initial penalty. And they've gone for the scrum again. That, maybe I can understand, sure, taking the scrum in this situation, but the other situation, they should have kicked the 3 points, come back down here and got back into the game. At the moment, they're putting pressure on themselves. They're chewing up the time. The clock is, what have we got to go? We've got 8.5 minutes to go till half-time. They are wasting time. They're wasting valuable time.
Well, Chris Horsman down there on one knee. The Worcester Warrior.
I see Neil Jenkins bringing the water on there. I think he'd like to kick this goal. The former Welsh great fly half, prodigious point scorer, now in charge of kicking and the kicking game with the Welsh team. And well, I'm sure he's a little bit dismayed, as I think are most people in the stadium at this. Who can believe the scoreline after half an hour of play?
25 points to 3. 25 unanswered points after that first penalty from Stephen Jones.
Touch, pause again.
It has been one of the more extraordinary half an hours in the history of the Rugby World Cup. Popham with a pickup. He's got Shanklin outside him. Nicky Little again with a crunching tackle. Wyn Jones. The drive on here, an opportunity maybe for Wales to score their first try.
Great defence at the moment for Wales. This is looking ominous for Fiji. But gee, they're committing numbers to the breakdown here.
Well, there it is. Martin Williams tries to burrow through himself. He may well have lost it, though. Good work there from Cotto. But there it is, Peel. Wyn Jones is standing off. There's Wyn Jones. Rabini crunches him.
It's a turnover.
Well, there it is.
No, it's not. It's away, Peel.
Dwayne Peel held up a metre out. It's going to be another opportunity from the scrummage for Wales. The clock shows we've got 7 minutes remaining in this first half, and you have to think, I know it's still relatively early stages here, but you have to think Wales, for their confidence if nothing else, have to get something out of this.
Oh, they've got to come away with 7 points. 7 points, then try and get back down and get another score before the half-time break. Because a 22-point margin at the moment, they don't look capable of cracking it at the moment, do they? The spirit that the Fijians are showing in defence is outstanding. Their scrum has disintegrated. The scrum is not functioning at all, yet still they're managing to hold the Welsh side out. Superb defence by the Fijians. Nicky Little it's just been outstanding in this defensive effort. as he's been backed up by the big hitting of Rapini, who comes in from all angles as well. Crucial, well, we've said every scrum's crucial at the moment, but Wales have got to score. It's now or never for the Welsh team. They need a score before the half-time break, that is certain.
Touch, pause, engage.
Dwayne Peel with the pudding. Popper holding it at his feet, controlling the ball well, but it's a penalty. And here the Fijians have to be careful.
Well, this has got penalty try written all over it, hasn't it? I think one more fault at the scrum and the referee will go under the sticks. So we see another tactical injury here.
That's passing a rather ruthless judgment on Cisse Koyama.
I'll make the decision.
The man who plays his club rugby in Italy. Gareth Thomas just barking a few instructions there, Addy and Evans. They're not short of leaders out there, or at least they shouldn't be. Colin Jarvis, former Welsh captain. Gareth Thomas, great experience. Men like Shane Williams, Stephen Jones, Dwayne Peel, another Welsh captain.
You go through the list. It's an outstanding list of footballers, isn't it, in recent Welsh rugby history. He's been turned right on the other tiny Popham. Lift up. This is try time.
That's Popham. Popham scores. At long last, Wales have got something out of it.
Well, they kept on going, but it's taken them 10 minutes to come away with this 5 points. But the Fijian scrum is under major difficulty. From a coaching perspective now, it's going to be very difficult for Fiji if they're going to continue to scrummage like that. Without wanting to be too cynical, it wouldn't surprise me to see a few front row injuries in the second half, and we may end up with simulated scrums. Because this is the only thing that's keeping Wales in the game at the moment, is their scrummaging. Their line-out's not functioning as well as it should be. And already we've got a change in kicker. This is, things are rattled out there. Still at rattle with the Welsh side, aren't they? Stephen Jones has had 2 kicks at goal. He hit the upright with one, and now he's handed over to James Hook straight away.
I'd like to be a fly on the wall, if you know what I mean, listening into the communications. You can see Gareth Jenkins up in the stand with his headset on. I wonder what's being said. Well, Hook makes the 5.7, and I guess most significantly, when you consider that there have been the problems in Wales with so much controversy and pressure on the coach, I wonder how many of the messages being sent down by Gareth Jenkins are actually being communicated and acted upon, because certainly over the course of the last 25 minutes or so, there has been nothing but panic from the Welsh. Now an opportunity to rediscover their equilibrium. They're back within 15.
It's a very good kick there from Little.
And importantly, it's claimed by the Welsh. Peel. Stephen Jones gets a good connection, doesn't find touch though, wasn't looking for it. Well, that's football tactics from Rataval. Gareth Thomas. That's not a good kick. Oh well, that was rather clumsy. Eventually picked up by Koyama.
He's isolated here. Well done, Rapini.
Good work from the captain as well. There's Rapini. Over halfway. They've been out of it for the last 10 minutes or so, have the Fijians. But this is much better. Jarvis coming in with a big hit. Almost turned his man as well.
Good ball retention from the Fijians, though. They're still running hard at the line.
Nicky Little hit hard by the try scorer Popham. Now Looney is one of the try scorers. De La Salle, not a good kick. Good take from Mark Jones. But here's a chance for a counter-attack. Stephen Jones to James Hook. Poor offload. Martin Williams goes back and tidies up. Colin Jarvis has the ball in hand. There he is, popping it back to Peel. Peel working the short side. Ball going forward there off a Fijian hand. Jones almost loses shorts. Mark Jones out to Shane Williams. The twinkle toes of Shane Williams. There's Matthew Rees, the hooker.
Popham hit very late there. The referee will be playing advantage on that one. He got hit in a late shot there.
Leo Weri there, the man with the tackle. There is Shane Williams, tackled by Corto. Stephen Jones. The referee's going to come back for that, though. The late hit on Popham.
I think we could see a yellow card here. That was very late. Senseless play there. It was the big second row, the try scorer, wasn't it? Leo came in on there. Have a look here. The pass is well gone. Bang. That's dangerous play.
The referee just saying there, we've had not only a high, but also a late.
Well, I think he's very lucky to stay on the field in this situation.
There he is.
Well, Wales would dearly love points before half-time. Be it 3, 5 or 7, they'll take anything at this stage.
A little more than a minute to play in the first half. This one of the 4 effectively elimination games in this final round of matches in the pool stage. Martin Williams claims it. Support there from the try scorer Popham. Matthew Rees, the Llanelli hooker, picks up and drives. Taken out by a combination with the 2 halfbacks there, Rauluni and Little. It's much better from Wales. This last 10 minutes.
Certainly, they've just gone back to basics, just trying to keep hold of the ball. There's no need to try and play the Fijian style of rugby against the Fijians. But he's been held up here. This is going nowhere.
I don't know if you saw that, but Stephen Jones just got kicked, literally in the stomach, just as he was going into the maul. Absolutely outrageous. It's by the number 7. Did you see that?
Yeah, we've just seen it now. We've just seen the replay, but he's put his leg up in self-defence because Jones has come charging in to try and disrupt. I don't see the referee can penalise this. I really don't. I see that as a self-defence play, Robbie, and it's. I'm sure there will be a penalty, but at the same time, Jones has come firing in from the side. Be interesting to see the referee's reaction here.
He's raised his leg, he's put his knee up.
Okay, well, obviously a penalty.
Well, one of the try scorers there in the frame for that.
7 white. Okay, just where the mark is there?
Well, it's going to be yellow, isn't it?
It's going to be yellow card. I really don't agree with that. However, it was dangerous play. He's lifting his leg. That I understand. But at the same time, Jones is coming from absolutely nowhere.
It's dangerous play.
He's got nothing to do with the play.
I said no more.
So Fiji will play effectively the first 10 minutes of the second half with only 14 men.
What was Stephen Jones hoping to achieve by charging in like that in the first place?
Gareth Jenkins has got a lot of talking to do at half-time. Wales beginning to work their way back into this game. And this, at the end of the second half, could prove to have been a crucial moment.
Well, definitely Fiji now. They've been under the cosh for 15 minutes. If this goes over, Wales have come back with a 10-point response in that 15-minute period, plus the benefit of one Fijian player in the sin bin.
Well, he snap-hooked it. I must say, I've seen James Hook do that before. I can remember watching a crucial Magners League game at the end of last season. A game which nearly cost the Ospreys the Magners League title, and Hook had an opportunity from us exactly the same position. that would have won the game against Glasgow, and they missed it. Well, what a first half. The last 40 minutes of the World Cup for one of these two sides. Fiji will start with only 14 men, but they do have the advantage, 25 points to 10.
Martin, I can't imagine what Gareth Jenkins had to say to his boys in the changing rooms at half-time. But I can only imagine that you know, he's saying stick to the game plan for the last last 10 minutes and just hack away. But you know, take the points when they come up. Don't you think so?
Behind the line. Yeah, you've gone over there this much.
So Nicky Little will get this second half underway. 25 points to 10, the Fijian advantage. But they're down to 14 men for about the first 9 minutes of it.
Fiji have got to come out strong here. They're one man down. They've got to keep playing. They have got to keep playing. They can't sit back on a 15-point lead. That won't be enough.
Wales know they have to take advantage of this first part of the second half. Sinio Koto with the throw into the first line. Well palmed back there by Naevo. 8 minutes or so, meters or so inside the Welsh half. Pull past that one, well claimed by Martin Williams. Jarvis, Popham, there's Shanklin. Opportunity here for Gareth Thomas.
Popham down and back play. He got taken out by yet another late tackle, this time from Rabini.
So the Fijians under real pressure. They're a man down, remember that. Nicky Little standing over it, along with Rabini. Little takes it. Hasn't found touch, but Shanklin's put a foot in.
Well, Popham got hit very, very late there. It was Rapini who absolutely cleaned him out again. That's two in the space of 10 minutes. I think he'll be looking forward to this game finishing. They keep coming after him. Have a look here. Bang. Huge hit. That wasn't as late as the one in the first half, but still. Late shot nonetheless from the blind spot.
Well, Popham appeared to get some revenge there. Was that man in the air? Was he taking the man rather than the ball?
Great kick.
Good take by Mark Jones. Peel. Here's Thomas. Miss move in the middle, poor pass to Hook. Rabini takes him out. Rabini's everywhere,
play.
Isn't he? Really, it's everywhere, it's Rabini. Rauluni. This is good play from the Fijians.
They've got numbers on the left here.
Little with the dab through. That's for Ratavo to chase. Well.
22 dropout.
A little bit of panic, you'd have to say, there from Shane Williams.
He was just a touch strong with the kick, wasn't he, Nicky Little here? Just the panic again and behind the lines. The Fijians coming at them. Watch the play of Rapini here. Makes the tackle, gets back to his feet. He's the tackler. He can come in from there, wins the ball.
Rabini again with a catch from the restart, despite the pressure there from Jones. The Welsh getting there in numbers, but Fiji still have possession. 3 minutes gone in this second half. About another 6 minutes before Fiji are back to a full complement. A dab forward there from De La Salle. There's Peel. Doesn't find touch. Nevua. With a real look of Thao Nibuthra about it.
He certainly has, he certainly has.
There's Little.
Great pass.
Long pass to De La Salle. Evans holds on. Fiji are down to 14 men, but they're certainly holding their own at the moment. Charging through there was Leweri. It's been turned over. Martin Williams doing the good work. Peel. There's Shanklin. Good pass. Here's a real opportunity for Shane Williams. Williams steps his man. Steps another man. A piece of individual brilliance. Wales slowly working their way back into this game. Shane Williams, his 35th try in international rugby.
Well, Fiji had control of the ball, then they lost it, the turnover. They saw they had the mismatch out wide, and Williams, such speed, electrifying running, does them on the inside. Big step again off the right. I can't really criticise the Fijian defence because Williams is such a dangerous runner at one-on-one. Have a look here, he shows the ball for the kick. He sets it up, he does them on the inside. He had too much speed, too much space to work with. And the finish, well, I don't know whether that was called for.
Well, I was going to say, as the coach...
Just happy he didn't lose the ball.
I was going to say, as the coach, I'd rather see that when we are 8 points up or 18 points up rather than still 8 points behind. But all the same, it really was a bit of Shane Williams at his brilliant best.
You really get the feeling now that the tide has turned, don't you? The momentum is all with Wales now. They've had 14 unanswered points here in the space of 20 minutes. Fiji have got to maintain field position and try and maintain the ball. More discipline with the ball in hand. That's got to be the key word for Fiji at the moment.
And they've still got another 3 or 4 minutes to survive with a man down. Jarvis takes play on. There's Peel to Jones. Let's move in the middle to Shanklin. Rabini goes for his man and misses him. There's Thomas being bundled down, and that was high.
This is going to be a yellow card, I think. No, he's played on.
Dwayne Peel. Got Jones on his outside. Peel's going. Jones is still there on the inside. Alan Wynne-Jones is there, but the ball is snapped up by Fiji, but the whistle's gone. Well, it's all happening here, isn't it?
Well, it certainly is. It's frenetic, but Wales just trying to play their way out of the hole, basically, aren't they? They're just continuing to play. They don't want to slow anything down. They just want to play, play, and play. Fiji are running a very dangerous line at the moment with the referee. There's too many high shots coming in. There's too many late shots coming in. You really feel there's going to be another yellow card here very soon. They have got to hold their discipline. And there's one thing that you'll criticise the Fijian rugby about is their discipline. And the South Sea Islanders, can they maintain their discipline for 80 minutes? At the moment, the Fijians are starting to crack. But they're the ones on the scoreboard still in front by 8 points. They have got to hold it together. But Wales are putting them under increasing pressure now. And now the Welsh have found their voices again, finally, here in Nantes.
He's just got a substitution. You've got Rhys Thomas, who's coming on for to replace, of course, Matthew Rees.
So that's a switch at hooker. The Cardiff man coming on for the fella from Llanelli. There he is, Rhys Thomas.
Crouch, touch,
Fiji still have about another 2 minutes with only 14 men. Peel inside to Popham to Jarvis. Taken on by Alan Wynne-Jones. Popham back to Peel. There's Jones. There's Hook feeding inside. There's Gareth Thomas. The Centurion with his traditional celebration.
Very well worked by the Welsh team. The start of it was a back row move with Dwayne Peel involved, Popham and Jarvis. Then they switched it wide. They had dummy runners coming back. It was a neat inside switch here, you'll see, to Jones. Have a look here. Missed pass behind. Back on the inside. Marginal ball. Could have drifted slightly forward, but it's a line ball. The referee lets it go. It is good play. It is a forward pass. Quite clear there. It is a forward pass. The referees let it go. but I've got to say it was a very well worked try. Marginal, a line ball forward, that's for sure, but well worked by the Welsh team. The whole build up to it was very good. And now a change in kicker.
Well, it was the pass from James Hook to Mark Jones, which very clearly went forward there. And Stephen Jones, for the second time this afternoon, finds an upright. 3 points between the teams. Gareth Thomas there with his 40th try in Test rugby.
Very well worked. Okay, forward pass involved, but the whole build-up play was excellent. Dummy runners, blindside wingers involved. Outstanding rugby by the Welsh side. They've got themselves back into it, haven't they? They've played their way out of that hole. It's taken some time, but they're right back in this now. Can Fiji get their hands on the ball and try and lift it, lift their levels, take it up another gear?
Perhaps about another minute or so with a man down, the Fijians. The last half hour is the makings of a World Cup classic.
The first 50 minutes have been quite outstanding, haven't they? We've had everything.
Ratavar with a kick through. Here's Shane Williams. Running into a wall of white jerseys this time, but they've let him go. And they've retained possession of the Welsh. Jones, Thomas, certainly seen far more of him. That's a good ball. Hook there, but that was some very brave defensive work indeed from the captain. There he is. That could well have saved a tackle, try there, Musesi Rauluni.
I think we've got a carer who's coming back on, finally, for Fiji.
Great courage from Rauluni there. Shane Williams just bouncing, as is his wont, in and out of tackles, under the attention of the big man. How he keeps getting up from these hits is quite outstanding, isn't it? He's not the biggest man at all, but very elastic. He bounces in and out of tackles.
Well, that boot on Stephen Jones as we see Dwayne Peel go through, and there's Popham. Rabini with a crucial tackle. Eventually he goes down. Gethin Jenkins, men over here for the Welsh. Hook, long pass, in the corner, Mark Jones.
Well, they can breathe a huge sigh of relief on the Welsh bench now. The supporters in full voice. Another brilliantly worked try. Fiji have absolutely gone to pieces here. Look at the hole inside the line out there. 10 minutes. Well worked, though, with the inside shift from the jumper. Popham does well. The presentation is good. And then it's the prop. Jenkins, who clears it away. Hook attacks the line straight. Two men could have scored that try. It's Jones who runs it round. Very well worked try again. They're really hitting their straps now. Hook and Stephen Jones. Good passing, good lines from the back line. Hitting the ball straight. Really looking very, very good now, aren't they?
And Stephen Jones makes no mistake with this one. Well, that's 26 points in the space of about 20 minutes, perhaps less.
I think it's something about the stadium at Nantes, isn't it? Because this is shades of Canada all over again, isn't it? The opening match, they struggled, they were playing terribly, and then all of a sudden, they came back into it with well-worked, well-taken tries. And here comes Sorelli Bobo from the Racing Club in Paris.
Sorelli Bobo, former Biarritz.
Well, he's a guy who could make something happen if the ball gets into his hands.
Well, Alan Wynne-Jones crashes to the turf and he's hurt himself. He really has hurt himself, and I think he got a boot in the face there for his troubles as well. Interesting to see whether Alan Wynne-Jones gets to his feet after this.
Well, he's staying down, isn't he? The referee should have blown that up, just a safety issue there.
The ball's still in play. Wynne-Jones is still down. On halfway, there's Nicky Little. Misses out Rabini. De La Salle. Finds support from Saramai Pai, who's played every minute so far of this Fijian World Cup campaign. Nicky Little, they're coming back for more here in the Fijians.
They've got numbers on the left. The referee could have let that one play. They've got to kick the goal now. And now it's Fiji who've got to remain calm, isn't it? They've got to get themselves back in the game.
Well, at the moment, we've got 2 men down. 1 from each side.
It's quite interesting, the Welsh choosing to fire up on the outside the defence. But that's a huge hit, isn't it? Jenkins coming in there, it's a big tackle. But the Welsh the outside backs pushing in, they're pushing up from the outside rather than from the inside, using a reverse drift, if you like, to try and close it down and shut down the space on the outside so the ball doesn't get into the hands of the likes of Sorelli Bobo. An important kick here for Fiji.
This would narrow the gap to a single point. The flag's raised. Go, Fiji, go. I tell you what, this is going to be a very exciting last 26 minutes or so.
The Welsh team have got a decision to make, really. Do they continue playing? Do they continue attacking from Emperor as they have to? Or do they maybe try and slow it down, play a little bit more controlled? I think they'll just keep on attacking personally. It's what's got them back into the game. However, they cannot afford any mistakes against this Fijian side because they are lethal on anything loose.
And Robbie, a substitution there in the front row for Fiji.
Yeah, absolutely. You've got the proper Joni Railomo, who's just been replaced by Henry Cuadravu, who's the prop for Orléans. Just west of Paris.
Yes, playing his 17th Test match. So just 1 point separates the sides.
Brilliant drive by Fiji. The structure is excellent. This is what I expected from Wales, not from Fiji, I've got to say.
Now Looney, Little. There's the fullback. Rataval in the line.
He had numbers on the outside there.
Rataval playing scrum half. Nicky Little, not too many options. He's got Rubini outside. Now Looney again. There's Rataval. It's the hooker, Koto. On their own 10-metre line here, the Fijians.
Numbers here.
There's an opportunity. Over halfway. Alan Wynne-Jones fully restored. That was Ian Evans flying through. There's Saramai Pai. The referee's blown up. This will be offside against the Welsh.
Just coming in from the side here, and there the previous breakdown. Well spotted by the touch judge there. And again, another 3-point opportunity. It's good controlled play. It's Fiji controlling it now. They're playing with the discipline. They've got their hands back on the ball. The forward drive is working for them. They can shift it from side to side because their runners are big, strong, powerful men. They've just got to make sure they hold on to the ball. This is well within Nicky Little's range. I think he'll be quite happy to try and knock this one over.
24 minutes remain. It is remarkable because we've had shifts in momentum which have been dramatic, and they have been quite long-lasting as well. Remember, the first 5 minutes or so belonged to Wales, 3-0 up. Then we had 25 unanswered points. Or should I say 22 unanswered points. And now Wales have done pretty much the same. But here we are, Nicky Little. He's caught it well. He's got the distance, it's good, but it drops short.
Lovely clearance and hook. Got a blood replacement here.
It's just going on to replace Dwayne Peel, of course, the bigger, stronger, more physical 6-footer, replacing the tactician Peel.
Phillips, very much out of the Terry Holmes mould. Phillips, who made the move from Cardiff over to the Ospreys, where they've got a fairly decent complement of scrum halves there. Justin Marshall. There's Saramai Pai.
They're setting it up well again, aren't they? Staying on their feet, allowing them to set up the drive. Unfortunately, they've gone to ground here. Can they start it again?
Certainly Bobo is in the thick of that as well. Fiji still in possession. Nicky Little, Rabini. Good hit there coming in from Rhys Thomas. Surely Bobo, half through. Colin Jarvis almost turning his man there. There's Raul Looney. De La Salle running across field. A tackle coming in from Stephen Jones. That's the Wales 10-metre line.
It's good ball control, isn't it? It's good ball control at the moment.
Rabini, slightly wild offload, Bobo, Rataval has support, De La Salle. They need quick ball now.
They've got the penalty.
There's Sorelli Bobo. Well, what option do they take? It has to be the 3 points, surely.
Well, it's just good ball control, good basic rugby. Well, I won't say basic rugby with the Fijians because there's some amazing passes going on out here. There's stuff going over the head. We've got props chucking. There's a great ball from Rataval through De La Salle. Gee, he's got great feet, hasn't he? He steps left, he steps right, sets it up, and they're coming off their feet. They're coming straight over the top. As a ruck was formed because we're players from either side in there at the same time. You can't use your hands, killing the ball there. Dangerous play at this stage of the game because the referee will go to his yellow card if there's continual infringing, that's for sure. Fiji got to continue to build pressure. Now they've got the opportunity for 3 points. Nicky Little, every kick becomes that more vital.
Well, this is the third of 3 passes he's had in the last few minutes. Nicky Little, he's struck it well. The flags are raised, 2 out of 3. Fiji are in front, and what a last 20 minutes we're in for. It will be the defining 20 minutes of the international coaching career, I would have thought, of Gareth Jenkins and 1 or 2 players as well.
Well, there's pressure from all sides here. It's an absolutely incredible atmosphere within the ground. The swings of momentum are incredible in this game, aren't they? Great take. So important after the score to take the ball. No, away again.
Now Looney, back to Nicky Little. Good take from Thomas. Certainly seen more of him in the last half an hour or so. And in the end, it worked out as a very good kick.
He did very well there. Had no room to work with, ran it down that touchline. I thought Fiji cleared the lines very well. If you have a look here, Bobo just overcommitted himself on the chase. He does well to get back. Did he have a foot in touch as he kicked that? Marginal call.
Certainly looked like it on those pictures.
One hopes this game's not going to be decided on a marginal call because we've seen some fantastic rugby here this evening.
With 2 points between the sides, it perhaps looks unlikely. But if there is a draw here, Wales will progress, as they do have a better points difference. But let's make that point now. A draw is no good to Fiji. So, for instance, if Fiji here scored an unconverted try, Wales scored a converted try, and we were tied up at the end, it would be Wales who progress.
Again, that line out. This time it's a throw-in situation. He hit his jumper, but you've got to throw it down the middle. Clearly not straight. Unforced errors. They've got to attack this scrum, Wales. Meanwhile, Fiji have got to get it in and out very, very quickly. I think they'll do well to send someone in behind the scrum to support the number 8, just because this one could come shooting out very quickly.
The scrum wheels, but Wales are penalised. The quick tap there. Perhaps the better alternative may have been to make some metres. There's Suramai Bai. Bai goes for the gap. He's got support from Rubini over the 22. Good tackle from Martin Williams. There it is, Rauluni. Bai again. This is wonderful play from the Fijians. Ratavao in from fullback. What another try would do for the Fijian cause here.
Knock on. A great build-up play, great build-up play. The back line is coming from such depth and hitting the ball at speed. They're really causing problems. Stephen Jones, he gets across to make his tackle. Then it's Martin Williams, I think, who comes in on this tackle on Rubini. But their guys are coming from depth and they're changing the angles. It's very difficult for the Welsh at the moment because this is relentless from Fiji. Got to clear their lines now. We just see the small unforced error there, don't we? Just losing in the tackle.
What a weekend of rugby. This final group game, or this final weekend of group games. 4 effectively knockout encounters. One of them won last night by England against Tonga. This the first of 2 today. Remember, Scotland and Italy to come. Phillips. Hook deep in goal, but it's a penalty to Wales.
That's unforced errors, that's discipline. There's just no need for that. You've got field position. He's not going to kick you down 60 or 70 metres from that area. Now, you've given away field position. He has worked so hard tonight, Rubini. He has really got through a mountain of work. So we see the changes from the bench coming on, Robbie.
You know, absolutely. We've got Goff coming on. We've got the prop, Duncan Jones, of course, and they're the 2 who are just gearing up to come on, and Michael Owen as well, number 8. So the Dragons man. So you know, some big guns coming on, some big guns going off. But I think they need reinforcements at the moment because obviously they're under the cosh at the moment.
Well, it's another Welsh captain, Michael Owen, who led the side to Six Nations glory when that man, Martin Williams, was the man of the tournament. Mike Phillips, Stephen Jones, there's Colin Charles, another former national captain. Suggestion there of a knock-on, the referee decides not. Wyn Jones, back to Phillips, Martin Williams, Mark Jones. Over the head of Delasson, Ratavar comes over. Good pressure from the Welsh.
Very good pressure. Looks like those changes are going to come on now. Crucial time here for Wales, crucial time for Fiji.
Well, there he is.
Wales have got to make this line out work, don't they? They've really got to make this one work. I think by the introduction of Owen, that might just settle things down a little bit more at line out time.
It's Alex Popham, who's taken some real hits today. He's off. There's Michael Owen.
Chris Horseman's come off, and also Ian Evans.
So Ian Evans, his first start in any sort of game since December. He lasts 65 minutes. Real chance here for Wales. The drive is on. Michael Owen's in, 2 metres out. Closer, ever closer here, Wales. Jarvis is standing over it, as is Jones, but it's a penalty to Fiji.
Dear, oh dear, oh dear. How did Fiji get out of jail here? He looked like he was over the line. Referee's called it just held up short. But the referee's made a mistake here because he's making him take the penalty from 1 metre from the line. No penalty being given from 1 metre within the line. It's got to be given on the 5 metre mark. Anyway, it's a beautiful clearance kick.
It is. Michael Owen there being singled out in his 41st international.
I think it's Phillips has been penalised here. He got himself ahead of the ball there. You could see sort of body checking, a little bit of American football style of play there to try and pave a way there for his forwards to get over the line.
And another change, Robbie. Sarah Rubini going off.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Sarah Rubini coming off, and Norman Ligeri, who plays his rugby down in Brive, coming on to replace him.
Fiji in possession. Well, if the Fijians do survive here and win this one, they'll have a debt of thanks to Rubini.
Fiji happy to slow it down. They're the ones happy to structure the play. It's quite amazing. We're going to see an accidental offside here? No, we're not. Fiji hold it, but they're going to a scrum. This is not really what they wanted. They want to try and keep the ball moving, albeit slowly, but just keep working away, keep grinding it down.
13 minutes remain.
Can this crowd carry Fiji over the line? There's a long way to go in this game yet, though. I'm sure we're going to see a couple more turns before this one's out. We've had it all here. It's been an incredible game of rugby so far.
The Fijian flags, they're being waved proudly. And whatever happens herein, it will have been a marvellous performance by the Islanders. It really will. Nobody gave them too much chance. Head-to-heads, remember. The sides here meeting for the 9th time. All 8 previous encounters won by Wales, but significantly the last one 2 seasons ago went very, very close indeed when Wales won by 11 points to 10.
Well, 12 and a half minutes. I'm not sure which side of the fence I'd be going at the moment, because this one could go either way. Fiji capable of scoring a try from nothing. Wales, well, they're capable of just coming down, playing controlled rugby, kicking goal, and they're also capable of creating the wonderful tries.
This time, the 2 front rows immediately fall to the turf.
Wales don't want to be, they don't want to try and force things here at the scrum. They are dominant. They've got to maintain their discipline here. Fiji, meanwhile, have got to get it in and out. Get it out of there.
Powerful shove again, and that Fijian pack under such pressure.
Well, they certainly are. So the changes they made in the front rows have helped solidify things a little bit, but still under immense pressure there.
Stuart Dickinson just moving them over to...
This will help Fiji by closing the gap up. This will help Fiji.
Dickinson just moving them over there to a new patch, but once again the front rows fall.
Oh, now it's a crooked feed.
Let it go, back you go. Just wait, easy.
And Templer's getting frayed there in the front row. Kevin Jenkins, that is, with one on his back. Quick tap from Michael Owen. He's got the support of Jones. There's Mike Phillips. Stephen Jones. A dummy run coming from Shanklin. That's James Hook. It's all a bit pedestrian, though, from the Welsh. There's Phillips. Good step there from Mark Jones.
Great play for captain.
But they've snapped it up, have the Fijians. They're slowing it down again, though. You do have to wonder, even at this late stage, maybe the Fijians best playing what is their natural game. We do still have more than 10 minutes to go.
They are having success around the ruck, though. I think that's why they continue there, as they look to go wide now, though.
Well, there it is. They need a scrum half. Raul Looney. Little. That's Saramai Bai getting hit. There's Bai again. That's Dews going to ground about 8 metres inside the Welsh half. Raul Looney, Nicky Little. Cirelli Bobo. The ball went backwards, said Stuart Dickinson. Raul Looney. De La Salle is half broken through. Alan Wynne-Jones, it was, who caught hold of his jersey. There's Koto. This is good from the Fijians. Nicky Little. Well, that could work out quite well for the Fijians here. Support. There's Saramai Bai. Bai, can he go to the corner? Maybe he's got there. Maybe he has. This is going to go upstairs. There's no doubt about that. And I reckon on this decision could well hinge the future of Wales in this World Cup. And Gareth Jenkins' tenure as the national coach. Has he got there?
That's tough to call, isn't it? That's tough. Are the legs here in contact with the ground? That's the big thing.
Bear in mind, the question that Stuart Dickinson has to ask is there a reason why I can't give this try? In other words, There has to be conclusive proof that this isn't a try. So does he go out of play?
Yes.
I think he does.
He does.
It's a fair finish.
He's out.
And that picture there was conclusive.
Yes, Carlo.
This is leg.
This probably won't be. It's the other angle, isn't it?
The ball has gone in, player's gone in touch, line out 5, red throw. Thank you. Try.
Another
No.
for Wales. That was so close.
Incredible passage of play though, wasn't it, by the Fijians? We cannot say enough about the effort that these guys have put in here this evening. Absolutely incredible. As we're away again.
Michael Owen. The tackle coming in there from Koyamabole.
Let it go.
Driven out of the Wales 22. There's Mike Phillips receiving the ball from Owen. Back to Stephen Jones. Big boot.
And you've got to ask that question, why haven't they been playing like this for the last 25 minutes or so, the Welsh side? They scored the wonderful tries, they got themselves back in front, then it was the time to control the game. It wasn't the time to try and accelerate things. No, control the ball, control field position, and take the points when they're available. Great kick, Stephen Jones. I think the experience will probably see Wales into a scoring position here, but they're running out of time. 8.5 to go. A lot still to happen in this game, an awful lot to happen.
And it is a Fijian throw. They go short. And over there was the choice. Rauluni.
Great kick.
Shane Williams puts it down.
Knock on, play advantage here. There could be a chance out wide here.
Nicky Little. There's Bay. There's Rataval. Can't find Dalasau. That was Laguerre coming in. The Fijians still in possession. Every second crucial. But here it is. Martin Williams, has he got the pace? Martin Williams is going to score the try that perhaps keeps Wales in the World Cup. Well, Fiji playing a natural game, and it's cost them.
Well, good read, Martin Williams. The defensive line was set. They were coming up, they've been coming up all afternoon, if you like. They're sending the outside position up in front of the rest of them. And you see there the pass, it's Nicky Little. The hands go straight to the head, and Martin Williams from that range out. There's no one in behind, no cover. There you go. That's such a shame for Nicky Little. I really feel for him because he has given absolutely everything out here this afternoon. But good pressure from the Welsh defence. They force that play. Still, the job is not done for Wales. Fiji have got time to come back into this. This kick becomes so important, doesn't it?
It does, because that would extend the gap to 5 points. And what that would mean is that Fiji would need a converted try. Or, of course, 2 penalties. A draw is no good to Fiji. Well,
he's hit it again.
That's the third time this afternoon Stephen Jones has found the upright.
As we see here, they had, oh dear. It gets worse every time I see it from a Fijian perspective. But the Welsh won't complain. Martin Williams, he has got through so much work again this afternoon, as he always does in the red shirt. Such a tireless worker for the Welsh side. Finishes off a lovely intercept try that could break the hearts of Fiji. But here we go. Just over 5 minutes to go.
They've won the ball from the line out. There's Nicky Little. It's got Rataval on his right. Martin Williams, the try scorer, in with the first tackle. Stephen Jones and Mike Phillips doing the defensive work this time. Remember, 3 points won't be enough for Fiji. They need to win. There's Dalasau. The tackle coming in from Jones. The drive again from Fiji. This is looking good. Is there another twist in this match? Nicky Little to Sorelli Bobo. There's Nicky Little again. One try already this afternoon. Serame Bai goes for the gap. Ratano's got pace to burn.
He needs support here. Phillips is in on the ball. They've cleaned it out well. I think they want to slow it down and work around the fringes here.
The crowd really getting behind the Fijians.
He's isolated.
Well, there's the ball. Rauluni again. It's Laguerre. Another pick up and drive. Alan Wynne-Jones with a tackle. They'll be trying to force them out of touch on this side. The clock shows 4 minutes remaining.
Desperate defence by Wales. They're well organised here. Can Fiji create something here?
De La Salle.
He's got space here.
There's a chance out wide. Sorelli Bobo needs to straighten things up. De La Salle. Shane Williams. Martin Williams with a tackle. Half a metre short.
Martin Williams has got to get out of there. He's got to get out of there.
Burrowing through. Have they got through the Fijians? The referee's blown his whistle. Well, what is the decision here? Martin Williams unquestionably has got himself in an awkward position there. Kelvin Deaker saying he's short.
Can you tell me if a try has been scored, please?
Oh, incredible play. Martin Williams has trapped himself. He put his body on the line. He was sacrificing everything for the cause. But I dare say it deserves a yellow card, but he will have a look here. So close. Martin Williams, what a tackle. Tied up the ball, but gee, he killed the ball badly there. Deaker called it. He said he's short. Oh, we can't see. Yes, we can. The ball is over the line. The ball is over the line.
And again, you can't see a reason. Well, that's close. It's desperately difficult to tell. Can we see anything which proves conclusively that is not a try?
I believe from here we see the ball over the line. He is not held here. He is not held. And there the ball is clearly over the line. This is a huge decision.
About 4 minutes remaining, and for the second time,
Yes.
a decision goes to the TMO.
Okay, just confirming a
The
try
first
has
one
been
went
scored.
against Fiji. Which way will the second one go?
Okay, sorry, I wasn't just confirming a try has been scored. Thank you.
Well.
The try has been given. Fiji celebrates. They have the lead again. And who knows? They could be on their way to the quarterfinals.
The biggest goal kick in Nicky Little's career is right now. This is the biggest goal kick he's had to take because it puts him out of drop kick range and puts him out of penalty range. So important for Nicky Little. A guy with so much experience. You couldn't want a better guy kicking it for you from a Fijian perspective. This is so important.
The difference between 2 and 4 at this stage of a rugby match is massive. He's going to take his time.
He'll know the importance of it, you can be sure of that. It's just do what you do normally. Keep your technique. Beautiful kick! Beautiful kick, Nicky Little! Outstanding!
And that kick, as well as this try, could just have buried words.
That was great play. He has been absolutely everywhere tonight, hasn't he? Rupini has had a huge game, as has De La Salle. The two of them have worked wonders in this Fijian midfield, and they've reclaimed the kickoff. No mistakes now, no mistakes Fiji. Wales have got to force something. They have got to try to make something happen here.
We have a little more than 2 minutes remaining.
20.
They want to get it out of this half. I feel like a good kick down there and force a line out. Nicky Little sat back in the 22. That's smart play.
Certainly no long passes. Little finds touch.
It's a conservative kick for touch there. If he kept it in the field of play, they'd knocked it down there. But anyway, they've got a minute and a half to hold out Wales in what has been one of the most extraordinary games of rugby football we've seen.
Well, it will certainly be one of those games which goes down in the history of the competition. 20 years since we saw our first World Cup. This will go down as one of the great shocks. Owen tidies up after Wyn Jones fumbles. There's Colin Jarvis.
He's isolated there. No, they've got him to clear it out.
There's Alan Phillips. There's Owen. Thomas. Mark Jones. Very dangerous if he gets some space, Mark Jones. The Fijians try to turn him. The clock shows we have a minute remaining.
It's a turnover. It's a turnover.
A crucial turnover ball.
Oh, they're off again.
Well, in space as well. The Fijians will just simply want to hold possession now.
We have a player down here. It's a dangerous situation here. The trainer's on, but the referees let him play go.
And as far as the Fijians are concerned, they don't want the whistle to blow for another half minute or so. This is it. If they can keep possession for the next half minute, that's the end of the game. Sunday will then simply boot the ball into touch. There's Raul Looney. They have another 20 seconds they need to keep possession.
Stay on your feet, stay on your feet. No mistakes, Fiji. Wales can't do anything at this stage. They can't get in there without giving away a penalty. Look at all the numbers in here. Incredible play, Fiji.
They're holding it in. Another 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. That ball's going to go into touch immediately. That's all they need to do. Raul Looney will watch the clock. There's Saramai Pai. Somebody here is just going to boot it sideways. And the safety of the touchline. They cannot afford
He's been turned.
Well, a crucial error here. The referee's blown his whistle. It's a penalty. An opportunity to move on here for Wales. It's their last throw of the dice. They have it again.
Fiji have got to get moving. They're walking. They're walking.
Well,
this looks very serious, this injury, doesn't it? Is that Nicky Little down? Yes, it is.
the drama going not only to the end, but beyond it.
Next stoppage is full time. What a time to lose the ball.
All they had to do was retain possession and boot it sideways in a touch, and we'd have had the final whistle, and that would have been it.
Look at Nicky Little's knee go there. That is horrendous. That's horrible to see. The stretch will be coming on. He's going to be carried off. What a very, very sad end to such a courageous performer for Fiji. He has played his heart out. Coach Ili Tabui spoke before the game. He said it was do or die. He said it was put your bodies on the line, and that's what they have done. But unfortunately for Nicky Little, he's not going to be on the field should they hold on for this famous victory, but he has been instrumental here this afternoon.
Well, it just suspends the drama for a few more seconds, even a couple of minutes.
But you feel if there's one team capable of creating a try, it is the Welsh. The likes of Shane Williams in that backline division, anything can happen, can't it?
So Nicky Little, and that doesn't look at a good injury. You don't have good ones, I suppose, but it looks a particularly serious one. You'd have to say that. The crowd stand on their feet in recognition of what's been a marvellous performance. But will it be a winning one?
Wales opting for the scrum to tie in the big Fijian defenders. They fancy themselves from the set play. Rubini's got to get back behind the scrum to get in line here. Much better defensive organisation now.
There's Phillips. Fiji need to hold their defensive lines. Wyn Jones. There's Stephen Jones. Hook. Martin Williams. They need to bundle him into touch. If they can do that, it's game over.
Fiji got to set the lines again. They've got to get wider. Oh, it's a turnover. It's a turnover.
That's the ball game. It's all over. Wales are out of the World Cup. And this, one of the, if not one of the greatest ever shots in world rugby. It's as simple as that.
Absolutely incredible game of rugby. I can't believe it. The emotion, the heart, we've seen it all. We saw tears before the game. Incredible game. Fiji win 38-34.
Gethin Jenkins, stunned into silence. Mark Jones there, the Welsh winger, with a very touching gesture saying well done. Gareth Thomas celebrating his 100th cap. I'm afraid it won't be one to remember. There he is. Thomas was instrumental in Wales getting back into this game, but he couldn't quite take them over the try line.
Again, we see the South Sea Islanders team, very religious teams. It's just such an emotionally charged atmosphere down there. We've seen this do this many times in the Sevens circuit. Now, in the 15s at a Rugby World Cup, they are through to a quarter-final, having tipped out Wales with an absolutely fabulous performance. It is at a cost. Nicky Little is not out there with his men to celebrate this victory. That one hurts all the guys in this side. What a game we have witnessed here this afternoon. Absolutely spectacular. I cannot believe the result. The result with the Fijians. They went down in front by 25 points. Then they went behind. Then they came back. They have shown so much heart, so much character, and so much desire. Full-time professional teams, these teams who have spent months and spent millions on preparation for the World Cup, take a lesson from Fiji, because the old ethics still ring true. You need to have heart, you need to have want, you need to have desire. It's the intangibles that won it today. Sure, they had some great individual performances, but for me, that is a great victory for rugby in this professional era. Absolutely outstanding.
One or two men in red jerseys and also a coach will be wondering what the future holds. The pens and the knives will be sharpened at the moment in parts of Wales and up here in the stands in Nantes. Gareth Thomas, his 100th cap, leads his team off the field. But for how many of these men will it be a trip into international rugby oblivion? There surely must be the nadir for Welsh international rugby. Well, in a couple of moments' time, we'll be hearing from Gareth Thomas. It's always difficult talking immediately after a game, gathering your thoughts against the background of the emotions, but here he is.
Gareth Thomas, it's a day that really you should have been jumping with joy, obviously with your 100 caps, but it turned into a defeat. Obviously not very happy, I can imagine. Can you just tell us a few words about what happened?
Well, we're devastated. We look at the video and we've made some serious errors. Our defence wasn't up to standard. We turned over the ball in the wrong areas, and you know, on a day like today, it's down to 80 minutes. If we don't perform in 80 minutes, then we're on the plane home. And unfortunately, we're going home, but we're going home. You know, Welshmen, we're proud Welshmen. We've represented our country and we've tried our best. And you know, we'll probably get beaten down for this, but you know, in my career, I've been proud and I've had some highs and some lows. And today's a low, but you know, it's been a roller coaster of a ride.
Gareth, thanks very much for your time. It's been a pleasure.
Well, I'm not sure it's been much of a pleasure for any Welshman watching. It doesn't get much lower than this. A couple of years ago, they were Six Nations champions. Well, they come here, the very minimum was an expectation to move into the last 8. Defeat here by Fiji was not even going to be considered. But it's a victorious day for the Islanders.
Moses, it's probably the best day of history for Fijian rugby. It's a wonderful performance that you performed out there, and you played right until the last very second. Can you tell us a little bit about the game?
Well, it was a bit seesaw, you know. We had it. I think we thought we had it won in the first, 30 minutes, and
you know, Akapusi Gara got sin binned, and you know, they scored a lot of tries and came back and took the lead. But you know, years ago, you know, Fiji would have lost those games, and you know, I'm so proud of the boys. They stuck to it, and you know, we came out with a win, and it's the first time we have got in the quarterfinals since 1987. And our goal before we came here was to do that, and you know, to all the training that we've did leading up to this, plus all the support we've got back home, our families, our friends, you know, the Fiji die-hard fans that have been there. You know, I'd just like to thank them all, you know, because they're the ones why we're here, and this is why we're representing them.
Thanks so much for your time, Moses, and good luck for your quarter-final clash against South Africa.
Thanks, we're going to need it. Cheers.
So, Fiji's first victory against a Six Nations side in the Rugby World Cup. Well, let's look at the contributions of one or two players. Perhaps it's a little unfair to single out individuals, but I guess guys like Seru Rabini, that man we just heard from, Sesi Rauluni, he made a very good point there, didn't he? A few years ago, having seen the Welsh come back, they wouldn't maybe have had the, not necessarily the spirit, but perhaps the poise to actually come back and do what they've done today.
No, it's without a doubt. Very, very good words there from the captain, Rauluni. I thought he was outstanding. Maintained composure throughout the whole game. When everyone was losing their heads, it seemed at times. We saw some crazy tackles coming in. We saw some late stuff. We saw some cheap shots. But we did see a committed team. With Nicky Little, those two form a very good partnership. They play a lot of rugby in Europe, played a lot of club rugby in Europe, and that showed out there today. They managed to keep it reasonably calm. Just an incredible day. An incredible day for Fijian rugby.